Hi YouTubers, it's me Colin and this is TamiyaTruckBuilding. Today I'm going to build a Volvo FH12 rear axle, which is stages 13 to 15. This is stage 13. Parts for stage 13 you should be able to see on the inset, and I've also put a part in there for stage 14, which is essentially the two drive shafts. That's what we're building. We're building the central differential gear and putting the two drive shafts in it, and then in the following stage 15, we'll be putting the outer plastic cases on it. So back to stage 13, you have a little unit like this, which is a star shape, and you put 3 gears on it. You have one side of the differential which you put in a beveled gear, and you have the other side of the differential which you put in a beveled gear. Now here's a Colin tip, and of all the tips that I give, I think this is probably the most important, to my mind, or the best tip that I can give you, and that is, you read on the forums an awful lot of cases of where people build these and they are incredibly tight and they think they've done something wrong. They haven't done anything wrong. 9 times out of 10 it is because the teeth, these teeth here, have probably still got some machine burr on them. That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, and I'll tell you for why. Because I use a little round file, little draper round file here, and I go around each of these, all of the gears, and I just literally just fetch off any burr. I spend just a few seconds longer than I'm showing you. I don't want to bore you. Go all the way around there, yeah, and that is well worth doing, trust me, because when you put it together you'll find the teeth will run together a lot more smoothly rather than be notchy because of the burrs that there may be on them. So we've got a bottom section there, the star section with the 3 gears on, or the triangular section rather with 3 gears, goes on next, and you can see it drops into little holes on the side, yeah. Then the other part goes on the top and will line up so that the 3 holes for the screws are in line with each other. These screws need to have thread lock on them as per the diagram, so I'm just going to pop a touch of thread lock on these. That's one. My thread lock is oozing out. There we go. Stop it doing that. Careful you don't lose everything that you just put together. Just hold it together while you pop you. I call it a screw, but it's not a screw actually. It's a cap screw, or it's got an Allen key head to it. Another Colin tip. Trying to use one of these can be a bit fiddly because the right angle piece keeps catching your fingers. Chop one off and glue it, as I did here, with a bit of Gorilla Glue inside a bit of plastic, and it is brilliant for winding these things in. You can't do them up with it because you can't put any leverage on it, but there you go, there's one in. And once it's done up, you can use the one with the angle on it to lever it, to tighten it up. Let's glue number 2. Don't need a huge amount of this stuff on them. It's only just enough to lock it in place. Being a moving part, that's why they recommend it. You wouldn't want it to come undone on you. I've got grease on my hands. Can't see what I'm doing. That's better. Pull that down now. It's 2 in place. Where's my 3rd screw gone? It's in here somewhere. Hello. can always pop it on there first as well as another way of doing it. Pop a bit of your thread lock on it. Pop it in the remaining hole, like so, and do it up. Once you've got them all in place, you can use this to just tighten them up. Don't have to be massively tight. There you go. Squeeze that up there. Job done. That is stage 13. Just moving on now to stage 14. Here's our build from stage 13, which is a diff unit. Stage 14 is quite a straightforward one. There's a couple of shafts, 4 bearings and 4 circlips. I've already put a couple of circlips on at the moment. I'm just going to show you the rest of this. Each of these shafts has to have 2 bearings on it and grease. So that's the one. Put these on the other one. I'll put the grease on afterwards. You could put it on beforehand if you wanted to. This is how I do circlips. You probably have your own way of doing them. You can use a pair of pliers if you're clever. Frankly, I find the easiest way to do them is to put them on a flat surface like that, nice and flat. Make sure it's upright underneath your rod. Yeah, hold the rod in position so it don't move, and then press down quickly, and then it clunks into place. And there's that shaft in place with the 2 bearings. Just need to put some grease on it. Just do the other one now, which goes on this end here. So it's easy to stand that up first. Put that on there. Just get it where you want. Make sure it's nice and balanced. That's the key thing. And that C-clip is facing upright, not twisted side. Otherwise, it's going to spring off across the room somewhere. Get it exactly where you want first. Just where you want it. And then put the pressure on it. There we go, that's those 2 done. So what we need to do now is just put a little bit of grease on them. So I'm going to put some grease down the centre column of here on the one, and then just open them up there and put in the centre column of that one as well, just there like that. So we can now just work those bearings on the grease. Those will be fine. Work those bearings on the grease there. That'll be fine. All we need to do now is pop them in here. Now the one with the long rod on it goes in that end, like that. Needs to have some grease on it. So just pop a bit of grease on the end of that pin there, because it fits into the other shaft. That goes in there, like that. And this one here, as you can see, it's got a hole on the end of it. Just there's a little bit of grease on that bit of shaft there, because that shaft moves in there. Now I'm going to have to just try my hands a little bit, because I'm not going to be able to hold these otherwise. So that's it done, and there you go. That spins nice and freely without any problem at all. I guarantee if you didn't clean those burrs off, that would be quite tight to try and do. So there you go, that finishes stage 14. This is stage 15. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting the shaft that we built and the differential inside the back axle casings. And I've got the parts that I need here to do the job. Quite a straightforward one. We've got an inset first, so we need to do the inset first, and what that is to take this part here and fit the drive gear into here. We need 2 bearings to go in to start with. One in there. Nice tight fit, typical Tamiya. That's it, got them all the way in. 2 bearings. This needs to have grease on it. Be ready to open another tub of grease in a minute. So just put a bit on there to start with. Just wing that in and out a bit. It's a technical term, wing. a bit in there as well. So we've got it. That's it. I haven't put grease on the inside just yet. That will need to be greased. Okay. What holds this in position there is one of our friends, the circlips. This is certainly one that you can't do the way I normally do them. So we're going to use a pair of pliers and hope for the best. Let's go on with a bit of a clang, and there it is in position. So that's what's required on the inset. Now we're going to have to put this in here, and it's going to fit in like that, and each of the bearings has a little housing that it goes into, one at the front, one at the back. Before we drop it in, we need plenty of grease on here. Oops-a-daisy. Forgot that was loose. Come on. So I've got a fair bit on there now. Spread the grease all of the way around. Like so. I'm just going to pop a little bit of what I've got left in here down onto the, one's been a piggy wig. There we go. I'm just going to use a little screwdriver or something to just pick that up and transfer it onto this gear. A lot of it will transfer from the big gear when they connect together anyway, but just put a little bit on there as well. So there we are. Move our bearings out to the end. This will only go in one way around, which is like that. There it is in position. I cleaned those gears off, as I said before, got rid of the burr off them, so that actually spins nicely. If you didn't, I can guarantee it would be quite tight. That's ready to have the other housing put on it now. Now, there will be a correct way around to put this, so I'm just looking at the diagram now. I've got that. The correct way around. Now what about this one? You'll notice it's got these things here, yeah? They go downwards that way. I suppose it's fair to say it wouldn't fit that way. Always best to check. Do things in haste and repent at your leisure. There you go. That's all turning nice and freely now. Just going to wipe the hands. Just give this a bit of a quick wipe over. It doesn't need any thread lock according to this, and the nuts will sit in these little recesses in the plastic in the back, which is quite nice. Large size screwdriver, and then we've got 8 of these to put in. Right, the only thing left to do now is to fit the coupler that goes on the end of here, and your axle is going to fit in there and spin that round, and it has to have a little grub screw that goes on that flat there. I have the little grub screw here. Here's the grub screw. Now the grub screw does need a little bit of thread lock on it. You don't want that to be coming undone. Quite honestly, the best thing to do here is just put a little bit, whoops, there's it. Grace, you can't hold things. A little bit on there. Find a Allen key that fits it. Yeah, that's the one. I could use my one that's built into a bit of plastic, but it doesn't take much to screw this in, so just do it carefully. There you go. Have a look inside, you can see it just coming through inside. Turn it round, there you go, till it drops into position. You can go down flush because it only goes up against that C-clip that's in there anyway. Lift it up so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Just going to swap that round now so I can just do it up a little bit tighter. There we go, do that up tight on the shaft. There we are, spinning nice and freely. Yeah, very pleased with that. That concludes stage 15. That's it for part 9, YouTubers. Hope you enjoyed the video. In the next episode I'll be fitting the axle to the chassis. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Bye for now.